When it comes to making yourself a great writer, it isn't enough just to follow the rules of grammar, spelling, and punctuation. You really need to learn how to develop a style and how to write with clear focus and no wasted words or phrases. And that's what we're going to practice today, avoiding redundancy. In other words, things that simply aren't necessary. They add nothing, and if you think about it, they can really only sort of confuse the reader. So, this paragraph here is currently 165 words. You have to take my word for that because it's just slightly out of view here. We can cut this down a lot, make it easier to follow, and more to the point. So the first thing I want to focus on is the word what, right there at the beginning. Unless you're asking a question, what is a bad way to start the sentence? So I'm going to get rid of that, and clearly the first change, let's go with a capital T. Now, let's figure out how the sentence works without it. The group hopes to achieve is making a decision on whether or not to open a second office in the future. Well, clearly we need to smooth out the wording. The group hopes to achieve is making. How about just the group hopes to make? Ooh, sorry about that. M-A-K-E, of course. On whether or not to open a second office in the future. Well, in anything, there's either a whether or a not. There's no third option. So adding or not doesn't really narrow those possibilities for the reader. To open a second office in the future? Well, we can't open it in the past. Can't really open it right this moment. So therefore, any reasonable person would assume it was in the future. There we go. We're down 8 words already from our 165. They have solicited the opinions of other employees and outside experts for the purpose of making a more informed decision process in this area. That's a lot of words. Let's go with for the purpose of making. Let's start there. That's a lot of words. Look at this magical little word I know. To make a more informed decision process. How about just decision? In this area? Well, of course in this area. There we go. Already down to 150 words. They are literally leaving no stone unturned. I know this is a fashionable word, but we should really only use it to differentiate from a figure of speech. And since no one here is actually turning stones over, we're going to get rid of it. More than one person involved has quit the group because of the challenging nature of the work involved, and because it has taken more time than any other endeavor the company has previously made an inquiry about before. Whew, that is a long sentence. Let's see what we can do. More than one, let's say multiple. Persons, I think we could do that. Have quit the group because of the challenging nature of the work involved. Involved? How about just work? And because it has taken more time than any other endeavor the company has previously made an inquiry about before. Wait a second. Previously? Before? Same thing. No need for that one. We're now down to 145, minus 20 words. While the reasons may or may not be understandable, the rest of the group has decided to move forward and try to make progress. May not, same thing, really. And if you ask me, moving forward is making progress. So let's get rid of that. And what do you know? We've dropped 28 words already. The mission of the goal remains, figuring out whether the company benefits from expanding or does not. I hate to harp on this, but let's get rid of or does not, for starters. Secondly, a mission and a goal seem like the same thing. I happen to like goal more in this case. Figuring out whether I think we got it. We're down to 131 words, minus 34 overall. Last sentence. Because there's no established timeline for making this important and critical decision, they are taking their sweet old time and trying to look at it from as many different views and perspectives. Important, critical. One has to go. I like critical. Sweet old time. That sounds like you're talking to your best friend. Let's keep it more formal. Views and perspectives. Well, those are about the same thing. Let's take one out. And it just kind of seems like it needs something else to finish. Let's add as possible. So our total word count is down to 127. That means we've dropped 38 words from an original starting point of 165. Anyone who reads this sentence will have a much easier time understanding it now.